Are you worrying about the future and concerned about how your future will look like, and you want to plan your future to reduce the uncertainty? Then I suggest you listen to this entire video, for I have a tip on how to reduce that uncertainty and a little bit of wisdom on the nature of reality. Alright, so the current situation for the, entire globe, one could say, is that there's a lot of uncertainty concerning the time span of this pandemic and when the normal life as we knew it before will proceed or reconvene, and when that will happen and what it will look like. Now, this is very stress or anxiety provoking because we have such little realistic assumptions to make on what it will look like or when it will happen. I mean, we really don't know. And this is also highly relevant for people, of course, who are working, who have been fired maybe, or are only working half-time on furlough, or students like myself who are graduating in the summer this year and then need to figure out the next step, and that's really stressful. Until a few weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, I had about a month or 3-4 weeks where I was very, very stressed out. I was exhausted because I was just the anxiety was on full on like pedal to the metal, just trying to figure out how to plan what to do next year and just trying to deal with the anxiety or with the situation, but I just couldn't find a solution. It just kept going on and on. And then I talked to my parents, and they told me something very, very valuable. They said, it appears that very often in life, when you need to take the next step or you need change, that the perfect opportunity reveals itself out of nowhere and you could not have expected it to appear. And hence planning is not much use, because the perfect or a good solution it comes to you without you having to, let's say, look for it. It reveals itself. And I think that is very true. I mean, I have reflected on that, what they told me, and that for a lot of big steps or changes in my life, I had chosen a path which actually was quite spontaneous, or I did not fixate on and did not plan into detail. It just sort of appeared. Like my internship, for example, I was applying for about 6, 7, 8 months, and then, about 8 months maybe, and then 3 days before I was going to go on summer vacation for 2 months and wouldn't be in the country anymore, I got a call from a bank, and they told me, we want to have you for an interview, and then within a few days I got it, and that was it. Like right before my summer vacation, when the chance would have been over. For example, like that, I did not see it coming. So I think a good tip is here, for the current situation, is to just go with what reality and what the universe presents you. Trust the process of time, and that it'll sort itself out and the opportunities will come to you. Don't scramble for them, and don't be stressed out about it, because it's not very productive just being anxious about what to do when you really can't sort it out now, because the determining factors are outside of your control completely, really. But what does this mean? I mean, if I say trust in the process, let reality bring the opportunities to you, that doesn't mean be lazy now and just think like it'll come to you, you don't have to work. No, you need to keep your eyes open, because you need to recognize the opportunity when it's there and keep a lookout. For example, with my internship, I sent out about 50 applications, I would say, and then I got an offer a few days before I went on vacation, and that was my last chance. But I sent out the applications, like I did the work. It's not like I would have gotten an opportunity without sending out an application. That's not how it works. Keep your eyes open. Sit back, trust it, be confident in yourself and the universe. It'll work, it'll sort itself out. And I think this is very much of life, that you if you try to bend, if you try to create too much order when you're in pure and utter chaos, when the chaos is so overwhelming, you simply cannot create the order, and you need to sort of play with the chaos until an opportunity comes to turn into order. You can't create order out of nothing, almost. Maybe like that. So you need to play with it. You need to play the game. Play its game, not your game, because there's a lot more of chaos in the world than there is of you. There's a lot more of the universe than there is of you. So you're playing the universe's game, not the universe is playing your game. It's not like that. So be humble in that sense, and be humble in your insignificance in the universe, then play with the universe and trust in it and have faith in it, let's say, that it'll benefit you. Yeah. Keep your eyes open though, that's very important. So that's my tip on how to reduce the anxiety of the future, and the chaos that's going on right now. That's been on my mind for a little bit, and it's really helped me to just focus on what's important now. Ignore the long-term future, because it'll sort itself out. And another thing is, like, planning long term into the future is so... I think it's good, but it can be unproductive, because actually the universe and reality is so complex. Like, you may predict things happening, but the likelihood of them happening is so small, because the number of variables influencing your situations are so the number is difficult to comprehend, because it's so large. So hence, like, realistically planning long term in the future, especially because the longer term you go, the more time you let in between yourself and what you're planning, and the longer time, the more variables, the more the larger the space for the variables to accumulate. So you have way more variables, a lot more uncertainty, and a lot more dynamics going on. So the longer ahead you plan, the less likely it is that what you plan will actually become true. So go with the flow, listen to what you want, and because you change also. So if you plan now, in 5 years you may not want that thing anymore. So listen to yourself now, and then iterate your plans to what you truly want, not what you wanted 5 years ago. That's very important, because we grow as people, you're awfully dynamic. So don't be rigid, be fluid, be like water. So that's my take on how to reduce the anxiety of the future and deal with the chaotic nature of reality. Thank you for listening. I hope it helped.